Ever noticed how, as you age, the urge to socialize just isn't what it used to be? You might not pinpoint exactly why, but being around others doesn't spark the same joy it once did. Maybe small talk feels draining, or you're not connecting with people like before. If this rings a bell, you're far from alone. In fact, pulling back from social scenes as you grow older is more common than you'd think, and there's some real wisdom behind it. In this video, we're diving into 6 surprising reasons why folks tend to step back from socializing as they age, often without even realizing it. From shifting priorities to emotional exhaustion, these factors quietly nudge you toward solitude. And that's not always a bad thing. Here's the good news. This doesn't mean you're turning into a hermit, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. Often, it's a sign of emotional growth and deeper self-awareness. Stick with me to the end, because understanding these reasons can bring you peace with the changes you're feeling and help you make smarter choices about how you connect with others moving forward. So let's get started. One of the quietest struggles after 60 isn't a doubt falling out or a dramatic betrayal. It's something subtler, emotional burnout from years of one-sided relationships that slowly drain your spirit. Burnout creeps in when you've given too much of your heart, time, and energy without getting enough back, leaving you protective of your peace. Its danger lies in how it builds unnoticed, making you pull back from people without even realizing why. Tom, a lively 65-year-old who always prided himself on being there for everyone. He was the friend who listened through late-night calls, the family member who fixed every crisis, the colleague who never turned down a favor. But over time, Tom felt worn thin. He noticed many of these connections were lopsided. He was always giving, but when he needed a shoulder, he often stood alone. This didn't dawn on him overnight. It grew over decades of putting others first, until one day, Tom found himself dodging calls and skipping gatherings. He wasn't angry or bitter, just exhausted from carrying the emotional load. Many don't realize that years of investing in relationships can reveal who truly values you and who's just there for convenience. Aging sharpens this clarity, making your emotional energy too precious to waste on ties that don't bring peace. Psychologists call this emotional burnout, a deep fatigue from giving more than you receive. It's why many seniors guard their time fiercely, not out of dislike for others, but because they've learned not everyone deserves endless access to their heart. Early signs are easy to miss. Feeling drained after certain hours, dreading social obligations, or craving solitude over company. Seniors often chalk these up to just getting older. Unaware, they signal a need to protect their emotional reserves. Left unaddressed, burnout can dim your joy, making even meaningful relationships feel like a chore. What can you do? Take stock of your connections. If a relationship feels more like a duty than a joy, it's okay to set boundaries. Notice you're withdrawing or feeling resentful? Don't ignore it. Talk to a trusted friend or counselor to sort through what's weighing you down. For draining ties, politely pull back. Your peace is worth it. If emotional burnout strikes a chord, comment 1 and ring the bell for more insights to lighten your load. One of the subtlest shifts after 65 isn't a sudden crisis or a louder wake-up call. It's a quiet realization. Time isn't endless. This isn't about fear or regret, but a deep understanding that every moment is precious and not everything deserves your attention anymore. Picture Ellen, a vibrant 74-year-old who spent decades putting off her dreams for someday. She held on to friendships that felt flat, commitments born of habit, and company. For years, Ellen told herself she had plenty of time to focus on what truly mattered. But one morning something clicked. She woke up and realized someday wasn't guaranteed. This awareness changes everything. You stop feeling guilty for saying no to invitations that don't light you up. You quit chasing approval from folks who don't lift you up. You start guarding your time carefully, not because you've stopped caring, but because you know it's your most valuable asset. And here's the beauty of it. This research, like the socio-emotional selectivity theory, shows that as we age, we naturally get pickier about relationships and experiences, zeroing in on what brings real meaning. That's why many seniors trade big social circles for a handful of deep, heartfelt connections. For Ellen, this shift was a turning point. She started doing something new, choosing herself. No more sitting through long, pointless phone calls out of duty. No more forcing small talk that left her drained. Instead, she woke up each day with one goal: to spend her time on what made her heart sing. And here's the truth. When you reach this point, life feels different. You live with intention. You stop explaining yourself, Best of all, you feel lighter, freer, and more at peace than ever before. So if you're stepping back from empty chatter, dropping obligations that don't spark joy, or choosing quiet moments over hollow socializing, don't second guess it. It's not loneliness, it's wisdom. If this hits home, comment 2 below to let me know you're with me. Haven't subscribed? Hit that button and ring the bell for more insights to live your best years. One of the gentlest changes after 60 isn't a dramatic upheaval. It's a quiet shift in what lights up your world. The things that once pulled you into social whirlwinds, work networking, fitting in, or just going along with the crowd, start to feel less vital. Instead, your heart turns toward what fills your life with meaning, not just what fills your calendar. Picture Clara, a warm 67 alone who spent decades as the glue holding her family and friends together. She never missed a birthday, was always first to plan gatherings, and made sure everyone stayed connected. But as she hit her late 60s, something shifted. Clara found herself craving deeper, more soulful conversations instead of surface verdict. She started choosing relationships that felt rich and real over those that were just expected. Why does this happen? Life's experiences carve out what we value most. The urge to keep up appearances, stay endlessly social, or be everywhere at once fades away. Instead, you lean into personal well-being, emotional fulfillment, and connections that feel authentic. Research backs this up. As we age, we naturally sift out shallow or one-sided relationships, not out of bitterness, but because our emotional energy gets choosier. This isn't about caring less. It's about being intentional with where you invest your time and heart. And that's a beautiful thing. You're done chasing the fast, uber-perfect, superficial interactions of your younger years. Now it's about quality over quantity, making room for relationships that bring peace, joy, and truth. For Clara, this change wasn't just necessary, it was freeing. Instead of stretching herself thin to meet every social expectation, she embraced the connections that truly nourished her soul. And in doing so, she discovered something unexpected: deeper fulfillment, less social stress, and more time for the things she loved. If this resonates with you, drop a 3 in the comments below to let me know you're here. Been subscribed? Hit that button and ring the bell for more insights to live your. If you join YouTube, here's your videos soon. One of the softest shifts after 65 isn't a cloud of rebellion or a sudden retreat. It's a gentle craving for calm. The hustle and bustle that once felt thrilling or necessary now seem more like distractions than fuel for your soul. Those lively chats, gossip, at get to school, and the slogans about caring about people. It's that you've come to cherish quiet in a way you never did before. Picture Louise, a spirited 68-year-old who spent decades surrounded by family, co-workers, and lifelong pals. She used to thrive on being in the thick of it all, always ready to lend an ear or dive into a conversation. But as she grew older, Louise found her patience for noise, interruptions, and shallow exchanges wearing thin. She started gravitating towards serene mornings, solo strolls, and cozy evenings. At first she wondered if something was off. Was she turning into a recluse? Then it hit her. She was simply embracing something that had always been there, but never a priority: stillness. Why does this happen? As we age, our brains become less tolerant of overstimulation. Noisy settings, chaotic drama, and unnecessary drama turn mentally exhausting faster than they used to. Studies show older adults feel overwhelmed by social noise more quickly than younger folks, so they seek out spaces where they feel at ease, not frazzled. It's a shift from chasing excitement to savoring inner peace. If this feels familiar, know it's not a flaw. It's a sign of emotional and mental growth. With age comes the wisdom that not every chat is worth having, not every event is worth your time, and not every relationship needs constant tending. Guarding your peace becomes more precious than filling your days with obligations that no longer serve you. For Louise, embracing this change was a game changer. She stopped forcing herself into craving that felt like chores and poured her time into people and activities that truly brought her calm. Instead of guilt for craving quiet, she learned to treasure it. Here's the truth: as you age, your energy becomes a rare currency. You no longer feel the need to spread yourself thin, meeting every social expectation. That's not loneliness, it's wisdom. If this strikes a chord, drop a 4 in the comments below to let me know you're here. Haven't subscribed? Hit that button and ring the bell for more insights to embrace your golden years. One of the sharpest changes after 65, even apply argument or a dramatic exit. It's a quiet refusal to waste time on negativity, drama, or shallow talk. Those habits that once seemed harmless, gossip, endless complaints, or people fishing for validation, now feel like a drain on your spirit. Picture Betty, a lively 66 who is worth through your lift. She had friends who vented about the same old problems without ever changing a thing, and acquaintances who thrived on gossip, always chattering about someone's missteps. For decades, Betty nodded along, going in washes deep down, left her cold. But as she aged, something snapped into focus. She was done with it. But he realized these talks didn't just bore her. They exhausted her. They left her frustrated, not fulfilled. One day, mid-conversation, she politely excused herself, not out of rudeness, but because she refused to spend another minute on something that added no value to her life. Why does this happen? As you age, you gain a crystal clear sense of what truly matters. The need to be polite, for politeness' sake, vanishes. You no longer feel pressured to indulge negative people or force yourself into chats that clash with your values. Research shows that as we grow older, we naturally gravitate toward relationships that bring peace and pull away from those that sap our energy. It's not about being unkind. It's about protecting your spark. If this sounds familiar, you've probably noticed something freeing. The moment you stop tolerating negativity, those draining connections often fade on their own. The complainers find someone else to vent to. The gossipers stop calling because they sense you're not interested. And that's where real freedom kicks in. When you let go of these energy-draining talks, you make room for what truly lights you up. You spend more time in nature, curled up with a good book or soaking in the quiet. And instead of feeling isolated, you feel more at peace than ever. For Betty, this was a turning point. She stopped forcing herself to maintain ties that dragged her down and focused on connections that lifted her up. In doing so, she found something powerful. She wasn't losing anything. She was gaining clarity, calm, and a stronger sense of self. So if your tolerance for small talk, negativity, or pointless drama has vanished, know this: it's not a flaw, it's growth. Sometimes the best thing you can do is walk away. If this hits home, drop a 5 in the comments below to let me know you're here. Haven't subscribed? Hit that button and ring the bell for more insights to live your best years. One of the sneakiest shifts after 65 isn't a dramatic upheaval or a poor refusal. It's a quiet pull toward the comfort of routine, making change feel like a burden. As you age, the familiar daily habits, same old haunts, or predictable portion can feel like a safe haven, while new experiences or people seem daunting. Picture Harold, a spry 65-year-old dude. He loved his weekly card games, coffee shop chats, and familiar neighbors. But as he grew older, Harold found himself dodging new invitations, like a friend's book club or a community class. At first, he thought he was just tired, but soon realized he was clinging to routine, wary of anything that shook it up. Why does this happen? Aging often brings a powerful desire for stability, as the brain leans toward predictability to conserve energy. Studies like those on cognitive aging show older adults may resist change to avoid the mental effort of adapting. This isn't about stubbornness. It's about seeking comfort in what's known. But sticking too tightly to routine can shrink your world, limiting new connections or joys. Harold noticed his social circle dwindling as friends tried new things without him, leaving him feeling isolated. What can you do? Ease into change gently. Try one new activity a month, a local event, a hobby class, or even a new cafe. Invite a trusted friend to join, making the unfamiliar feel safer. Notice yourself saying no out of habit. Pause and ask if it's fear of change holding you back. Small steps outside your routine can spark joy and keep your world vibrant. For Harold, joining that book club opened new friendships and rekindled his spark. If resisting change feels familiar, comment 6 below to let me know you're here. Haven't subscribed? Hit that button and ring the bell for more insights to thrive in your golden years. As we wrap up, take a moment to reflect. Which of these reasons hit home for you? Have you found yourself stepping back from certain relationships or activities as you've aged? If so, you're not alone. It's a tragic part of life, and there's no need to feel guilty. It's growth. It's the quiet wisdom that your time, energy, and peace are priceless. Aging brings a refreshing clarity. You see things for what they are, no longer feeling the need to justify your choices or force necessity that don't flow. Most importantly, you realize that walking away from some relationships isn't isolation. It's making space for what truly matters. Here's the key takeaway. Your life is yours to shape. It's okay to choose peace over obligation, to say no, and to let go of anything that doesn't spark joy. You deserve to spend your days in ways that lift your spirit. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear your story. Drop a comment below sharing which reason resonated most or how you're navigating these changes. Your thoughts inspire us, so don't hold back. If this video spoke to you, give it a like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more insights to enrich your golden years. Thanks for watching, and we can't wait to see you in the next one.